Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 120 of the American Reveille Podcast, and we're going to be talking about Alex Jones. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Jones stood in front of a car, screamed and moaned that there were migrant children in the back. Nobody wants to take Alex Jones seriously. A lot of people don't believe what he has to say, even though he turns out to be right a lot. Right? He does. I'm not lying. He may not be right all the time. There may not be lizard people drinking the adrenochrome out of the babies. I don't know. That could be right. It could be wrong. Who knows? But what I will say is when he stood in front of the car screaming about the children, I was skeptical. And then I watched the video and lo and behold, a bunch of migrant children come pouring out the back. No car seat, no nothing. The cops are there. What the hell is going on? Is Alex Jones right again? Is he not right again? Is this all for show? It's fishy. It's strange. It's crazy. It doesn't seem right. And there are children at stake. There are children being trafficked. There are children being raped on a daily basis. So we need to expose this stuff. All right. So episode 120, we're going to be showing what Alex Jones is exposing in Texas. All right. And whether you like it or not, this is the damn truth. This is what's absolutely happening. We have to protect our children. So whether you like it or not, you have to watch this video. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here. This is episode 120 of the American Reveille Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, for listening, for watching. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please do me a favor. Give me that 5-star rating. It makes a big difference. If you're experienced with the podcast, if you listen all the time and you haven't done it before, just do me a favor. Go ahead and do it. Even if you don't listen on Apple Podcasts, just look us up, find Apple Podcasts, get in there, leave us the rating, and then delete Apple Podcasts if you want. It just helps us get exposure to more patriots so they can hear what the Reveille is doing, so they can get the word, they can get the empowerment that they need to wake other patriots up like yourself. I appreciate the help. I appreciate the effort. If you don't want to do that, if you don't like Apple, if you're listening or watching somewhere else, just follow, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. All right. Just take 2 minutes. Just take 2 minutes out and reach out. All right. If you really, really, really have something to say, all right, put some asterisks in there. Talk to me directly. Ask me a question. But if you directly put it out to me, I will respond to you in the comment section. All right. If you want to follow me on social media, anything like that, on Gab, on Parler, all that, I need you to look in the description section below. All the links to anything that you could ever imagine needing are there, whether it's the newsletter, whether it's the donation button, whether it's my social media or where to watch, where to listen. It is all in the description section below. All right. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Do me a favor. You ever have digestion problems? You ever feeling bloated? You ever feeling a little bit crappy? I saw this video. It's a good video, but man, Alex Jones is looking a little big, man. He's looking a little bloated. It might help him. It might help him if he had some sort of cleanse to kind of get all that steak, all that raw steak and liquor out of his bowels and drain out the toxins from his system. He might want to get his hand on some Life Change tea. And that's who's sponsoring this episode, Life Change tea. All right, guys, Life Change tea at getthetea.com, getthetea.com, getthetea.com. You know you want to get the tea, getthetea.com. This stuff is great. It's a proprietary blend of herbs. It's been used for thousands of years. This stuff cleanses your body of toxins, of the leftover garbage and gunk sitting around in your lower intestines. It's like a chimney sweeper of your gut, but it's gentle. It's not harsh. You're not having liquid napalm death diarrhea all day. No. It's gentle. It's just right. It does what it needs to do and gets the job done. People use it on an everyday basis. I drink it all the time. Great stuff. Getthetea.com, getthetea.com, getthetea.com. Get yourself some Life Change tea. I'm telling you. All right. I felt like crap like daily. And I thought, well, maybe I'm getting older. Maybe it's what I'm eating. But, I threw it in. I just threw it in the mix. I gave it a try. And, I don't sponsor items on here that I haven't used or tried or take on a daily basis. So I really gave it that try. I wanted to see if it would do the job. and it did. And that's why I'm advertising it to you. That's why I'm allowing them to sponsor this episode, so I wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction. GetTheTea.com, promo code James. Promo code James gets you free shipping and handling. And I mean, why not? Just why not? Give it a try. If you have gut issues like me, this is going to make a hell of a difference in your life. GetTheTea.com, promo code James, free shipping and handling. Stick around with me for an extra minute or two after this episode and just watch this little ad I put together. I put this little ad together, some nice little bumper music. Boom, boom, ba-na, boom, ba-ba-na, and I'm going to tell you about the tea, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, I do want some of that tea. All right. Or you're already getting it and you don't have to watch it, but do me a favor, stick around for that. All right. With that being said, I'm done telling you about the sponsor. I'm done begging you to follow along. All right. You know where the description section is. Do me that favor. And now we're going to get into this article. This is from Cassandra Fairbanks. All right. Gateway Pundit. Watch. Alex Jones physically stops a vehicle after witnessing migrant children being stuffed in the luggage compartment. How the hell does Alex Jones always end up in the right place at the right time? You ever notice that? He's here getting footage of them burning freaking child effigies and worshiping the owl god Moloch. He's over here getting this footage, getting that secret recording. Now he's here finding the migrant children. Alex Jones has a real good detective team. I'm going to tell you that. Whoever is leading him in the right direction worked for Scooby-Doo, because I'm telling you, they are top notch. Woo! Best in the business. So, Alex Jones has once again done what few others would be brave enough to do. While documenting the border crisis, Jones and his crew witnessed a man shoving several very young children into the luggage compartment in the back of his vehicle. According to InfoWars, children were being taken, quote, from the dirt floor child camp under the International Bridge in McAllen to a processing camp in Donna, Texas. The migrants were then moved to a COVID center in downtown McAllen before being brought to Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley. All right, so that's this place right here. We're going to watch a video in a second. All right. The charity, according to the InfoWars report, provides illegal migrants with airplane or bus tickets anywhere in the country. All right. They give them $1,200 on a debit card per person. All right. Each kid, each person. They are then transported by staff to the airport or bus station. On their website, they claim to have assisted over 23,000 children or individuals, who have illegally traveled in the country. All right. So this is the Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley. And that's what they're saying. They go from this, they come in the country and they get sent to those temporary sorting facilities. You saw, right? You remember when they finally exposed and showed under that big bridge, that fenced area, right? That had all those kids, all those people. It was like this temporary fenced area. It was all dirty and there was a dirt floor. They take them there to a processing camp in Donna, Texas. That's some of those overcrowded camps where there's 800 people in cages. And then they're moved to a COVID processing center. So they do all of that before possibly getting checked for COVID. And then they're brought to this church. Very strange. So he's there trying to expose this church, saying that the church gives them $1,200 per person and transports them everywhere. Quote, when the crew was walking to the Christian Charity Center near the bus station, they witnessed 5 children and an adult exiting the center and being loaded into a hatchback. 3 of these children were loaded into the luggage compartment. No seatbelts were present. The video picks up where the crew sprung into action. Jones immediately stood in front of the vehicle to prevent it from moving, while people, or members, of his crew attempted to get police to the scene. Investigative journalist Drew Hernandez was also present and demanding the police intervene. I did watch the video, and you're going to hear, if you're listening, and see and hear, if you're watching, there are people yelling that Alex Jones and people are traumatizing the children. And it's like, I get what they're saying, but Jones is trying to save these kids. They need to bring attention to where these kids are going so you can understand what's going on. And then you've got liberals going, you're going to traumatize the kid. Like, these people, just nobody sees past 5 seconds in front of their nose. You know, nobody on the left has the ability, has the freaking know-how to see 5 minutes into the future and what problems are on the horizon for these children, right? They don't see it as saving the kids. All right. They see whatever happens to the kids are supposed to happen to the kids, but don't hurt them emotionally along the way. Everything else seems to be fair game, which is disgusting. McAllen, Texas, upon my arrival to a Catholic charity assisting migrants, Catholic Charities RGV, I discovered one of their staff stuffing children into the hatchback seat of the car. Into the back seat of the car without any seats, seat belts, or car seats. The man refused to identify himself. This has gone too far. That was a tweet by Drew Hernandez. After police arrived, the driver removed the children from the back of the vehicle and brought everybody back inside the building. He claimed that their mother was with them. All right. So, you know, they're just going to come out of the building later. But let's watch this video. Let's show you what's actually happening. For those listening, like I said, you're going to hear a lot of screaming, a lot of bitching, a lot of moaning. I'll try to describe the video as best as possible.
You're about to run a human being over. Hey,
you got those children in there.
Who are you?
You got those smuggled children illegally. Hey, we need the police over here. They got a bunch of kids without their car seats.
Oh my gosh.
The kids with the migrants from all over Central America.
I had to lower that a little bit.
Guatemala, you name it, right? Now keep in mind.
You see these kids coming out of the bus?
The Border Patrol completely washes their hands of them. If they test negative, they're marched right down the street to the Catholic charity. From there, they're given clothes, food, financial assistance. The debit cards that they have over $1,200 per person on them. They're then taken to the McAllen Airport in unmarked vans, and then they're released into the United States to a destination city of their choice.
Look at this. So when he was just talking about all of that, he was standing in front of a Greyhound bus, and there were literally just migrant children and their parents, some without, just coming out, just pouring out of this bus. And he's talking about how they go to one place in Donna, Texas. They end up at the COVID facility, and then they go to this church, and the church gives them all a bunch of money and sends them anywhere they want to go. Anywhere they want to go. You know, a lot of these people meet up with drug dealers and traffickers and smugglers and just Mexican mafia folks. You know, I'm talking about cartel folks in the American area, the United States. I don't know why I said American, but you know what I mean. In states, like they can go, oh, I need to go to Denver, Colorado, and they might be meeting like an MS-13 gang there, and they use their kids to get into this country, right? That's what I'm getting at. These kids could end up raped and killed. Nobody is doing any investigation to what's happening to the poor children. That's what we don't want to hurt these kids and send them to some hellhole or this. We want to freaking vet where the F they're going. We want to know what the heck's going on so nobody hurts them. All right? And we want to slow the incentive, like you saw in that video, to have children chucked over the fence. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let's continue.
Where are you taking these kids? That's illegal.
So where literally you see these children, there's two children in red and black striped like Freddy Krueger sweaters. All right. And this guy's wearing a staff shirt. He's got a mag light flashlight like a bouncer would have. He's an older gentleman in a blue staff shirt, and he's loading children into a hatchback. Like literally, it looks like one of those, like a Volkswagen, not a Volkswagen, like a Dodge Magnum kind of car, but it's all dented up. It has a church sticker on the side. And this guy's a staff shirt, but nobody is going to talk. You're going to watch. Listen.
Where are you taking these kids? You have a car seat.
That's illegal.
How is this Christian?
Hey, we need the police over here. They got a bunch of kids without their car seats. You're violating Texas law.
Who
Look at this crappy car.
Hey,
you have no comment.
You got those children in there illegally.
You're about to run a human being over. Hey,
you got those children in there.
Who are you?
You got those smuggled children illegally.
Alex Jones is standing in front of this white Dodge. Maybe it's a Dodge Magnum. I don't know cars very well, but it's a crappy car with that hatchback with the children in the back. The guy's not speaking. He's trying to drive through, and Alex Jones is resting his belly on the car and getting in the gorilla stance to push the car. Hopefully the guy doesn't run him over. Life Change Tea would benefit Alex Jones in this moment.
Who are you? Where are you taking these
You're
children?
smuggling children.
Are you a part of
You
this
got to be legally in that vehicle.
You're not a part of this organization? Who are you? Where are you
We
taking
know you're
these
smuggling
kids?
these kids.
Where
Now
are you
got
taking
them
these
in the
kids?
back of there without children
Where are you
seats.
taking these kids?
The man is
Sir,
slowly
identify
backing
this
up
as
the
Massive
car.
smuggling.
This is literally human smuggling. These are
Alex Jones and I think that's Mr. Hernandez are both questioning the guy, yelling at the guy. The kids are probably terrified in the back of the car. I'm not going to argue with that. But at the same time, it is trafficking. Who are these kids? Where are they going? Why is nothing being discussed? Why is nothing being exposed? Why are there all these shady, underhanded companies and organizations and nonprofits? Why is all this money being moved around all creepily? What is happening? Why is nobody talking about it? At least, thank God, there are people like Alex Jones here to expose these people. For as crazy as he seems to be sometimes, he's also brilliant and beautiful and doing the dirty work that nobody else wants to do, and I commend him for that.
children. Where are you taking these kids?
And now,
Sir,
they
where
get
are
beat
you
up in
taking
front.
these kids?
They don't even have car seats.
Sir,
They don't have their
Yep.
seatbelts
Their
on.
seatbelts aren't
Those
even
kids.
on. Where are you taking these children?
Kids are like, what the
Sir,
hell is
identify
happening?
yourself. Who are you?
Fucking hit me. I'll tell you right fucking
Who do you work for?
Be deep shit.
Are you a part of this organization?
Do you hear that guy? There's some guy in the background now that's like talking crap to them. Don't you hit me, you'll be in deep crap.
So you don't know where these kids are going?
They're going to check the COVID over there.
No, they came from over there. They're not being checked for COVID.
That guy said they're being checked for COVID. They saw them come from the COVID place. So where are they taking them?
So you don't know who you
I
work
need to
for?
call the police.
We need to call the police right now. I want to know where these kids are going.
You are violating state law. You have children.
They're not going there. You're not making any sense, sir. Identify yourself. Who are you?
Kids out of that back, man. If somebody rear ends you, those kids are gonna get hurt.
Yep.
Who are
There's
these
the police
kids?
coming.
I don't know, sir. They go.
The guy driving the car, again, he doesn't know. He loaded them in the hatchback. No car seats. These kids have no seatbelts, no car seats. They're literally standing in there. It's insane.
Where did you get them from?
From the church.
From the church. Where's the church?
From one church.
Okay, so we just want to make sure that this is all good, okay, sir? I understand you're probably trying to help, at least appearing to, but you literally have a bunch of kids in here, a bunch of minors all by yourself.
Okay, the police is here. I'm
Got
Okay.
kids plowed in the back, no seatbelt, no anything. Yeah, they're plowed in the back.
Let's see.
What's your name, sir? You have your ID on you? Or your driver's license?
Your human smuggling's gonna stop, creep.
So you're cool with human smuggling?
Yes,
So you
sir.
don't care about Hispanics?
I'm here talking to
Why
the
do you?
police.
There's like people screaming in the background, arguing with that guy.
Give me your driver's license.
These people are being human
Oh, of course.
and raped. They're being raped. They're being raped.
Why did you
They're
stick
being
a
human
dick in them?
trafficked.
Did you
You're being
stick a
human
dick in them?
smuggled.
How do you know?
Oh my gosh.
How do you know?
How do I know? It's happening on a daily basis.
These cops are like, oh, jeez.
How do you know?
Go to the southern border.
I'm not saying anything bad about Alex Jones or his crew or anything like that, but, you know, I mean, I get it. They're angry. But, you know, I get it. It's kind of like, it's like enough already for the kids, right? These kids do have to kind of deal with that. And I don't want anybody blaming the children for this mess. It's their parents, it's the smugglers, it's the illegals, it's Joe Biden. It's people like that have caused this problem. These are little kids. They didn't do anything wrong. They're victims here, right? So I think at this point, maybe it would have been appropriate for Alex and his team to kind of calm down a little, but they are rolling on film. And I think if it does something to expose this to people and it wakes people up, if they see what's happening and it helps the cause, then it's justified. If it doesn't, well, then it's not. But at the end of the day, what they're doing is a good thing, and people need to see this. This needs to be exposed.
These people do not care at all. Good. Good.
Hold on, man. No, no, photo.
Yes, we do. How many more?
Hey, dude, get this video ready.
Yeah, they're opening the car door. The police are looking inside at the children.
If I drove around with 3 of my kids in the back of the car, I'd get arrested.
That's true. One of the migrant kids in the back looked at the camera and stuck his tongue out, went, "Nah," if you're listening, and it's very cute. I feel for these kids. I really do. I really do. It's terrible. I don't want to see any of these kids hurt. I want to see proper things happen. That's why we need to know where they're going. That's why we need to vet all of these things. Because again, how do we know that she's not taking these children up to some horrible place where they're going to be tortured, where they're going to be killed, where they're going to be used as drug mules, right? We need to know those things. If we're really going to save the children, right, then you need to know those things.
No. None of them not dying. Really?
Yeah, see that guy screaming about traumatizing kids.
This is not how you deal with
Oh,
children.
yeah, that's that liberal guy back there.
Stuff them in the back of a car. What the hell's the matter with you? No car seats. What organization is this? I want to know who the hell this is.
Yep.
Stuffing kids in the back of a car without any seatbelts on. What kind of Catholic
Yeah.
organization
I
is
feel
this?
bad for the kids, but I
Jesus
understand.
stuffs people in the back of a car? You should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you.
It's kind of messed up, right? No, I'm not buying vitamin mineral fusion. All right. If you're going to buy anything, you're going to buy Life Change Tea, not vitamin mineral fusion. Sorry, Alex. When I'm on your show, you could sell vitamin mineral fusion. For now, we're going to sell Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Promo code James. Free shipping and handling. Getthetea.com. Change your life with Life Change Tea today. Amazing product, guys. Amazing product. And this is an amazing thing. All right. Yeah, I kind of agree a little bit with that liberal, like, all right, you're kind of scaring the kid, but I get it. I get what they're doing. They need to make a scene. Nobody else is speaking up. Nobody else is speaking up. So Mr. Alex Jones, Mr. Hernandez, I commend both of you. Thank you for doing the hard, dirty work that nobody else wants to do. And a lot of us wish we were doing and want to do, sir. Guys, what is happening? What is going on with these kids? Why are kids underhandedly being moved around in this country? All right. I had a podcast a little bit ago with Hugo Gerner, the writer of USSR, United States Socialist Republic. And he was telling me about all of these foundations that funnel money, the Tides Foundation, all these Spanish organizations that are moving children around, all of these things that are tied to big money, Democrat donors. I mean, just amazing stuff. It's a couple episodes back. I'll link it at the end of this episode, or you could just look. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes. Well, maybe like 10 episodes ago. But it's the second interview I did with Hugo Gerner, and it was phenomenal. And he does expose a lot of this stuff. But there's all kinds of these organizations. They operate in plain daylight, and their literal purpose is to humanely help these people. But when these people are brought in almost like a business, right? When does that become, when does it go from help to actually something illegal, right? When does it go from helping impoverished children or helping people in bad situations to human smuggling? Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say this, but it feels like our own government is involved in human smuggling. Folks, that's episode 120 of the American Reveille Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Do me a favor, stick around for an extra 2 or 3 minutes so you can watch the little ad I put together for Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com, promo code James for free shipping and handling. If you'd like to donate, head to the website, www.americanreveille.com. Your donations help us spread the word to other patriots. None of it goes in my pocket. We put it right back into American Reveille LLC so we can empower people like you today. Thank you guys so much. Everything's in the description section below. All the social media, everywhere you could follow me. Please like, please share, please leave a comment, please follow, hit the notification bell, subscribe, 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. All of it goes a long way. And if you'd like to leave any feedback, ask me any questions, or work with the company in any way, if you know marketing, if you're a copywriter, if you know ad writing, if you can make some great promotional flyers and graphics, give me a call. Well, not a call, all right, but give me an email, jameslane@americanreveille.com. Folks, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in episode 121. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, James Lane here, and I want to tell you about Life Change Tea. That's right, Life Change Tea. I have a pack of it right here. Listen, as many of you know, I've been working really, really hard to get back in shape, okay? I was thinking lately, right? And you should probably be thinking about it too, with how crazy everything is, with how unstable the government seems, with all of these socialists, all of this leftist insanity. You would just call it insanity. Who knows when the hell I'm going to have to run, or when I'm going to have to, I don't know, save my family from something. I don't know. So I was getting fatter and fatter and fatter, feeling crappier and crappier and crappier. My diet was junk. I started by cleaning up the diet. I've been working out more and more, but I was still bloated. I was still gassy. I was still feeling crappy. And I finally decided to pull out an old trick in the book. All right. Something that I used for weight loss in the past. And I was thinking about a cleanse, right? Maybe take something that would help me evacuate my bowels a little bit, if you know what I mean. But you know, what I found was something different. I found Life Change Tea. All right, www.getthetea.com. I found this Life Change Tea, and instead of a 7-day or a 14-day cleanse, a 3-day cleanse, what they were offering was a daily tea, like a daily delicious iced tea, not some kind of weird hot tea or some kind of nasty tasting thing. No, this was a health supplement. All right, I started reading about it, and they were talking about all these herbs, these ancient herbs, right? Look at this: organic blessed thistle herb, malva leaf, organic marshmallow leaf. I didn't even know what the heck a marshmallow leaf was. Apparently, it's for anti-inflammatory and antioxidants and stuff. I looked some of this stuff up. It's crazy. Milk thistle extract that cleans your liver and kidneys. I mean, there's all these different things in here, but I was happy. I was attracted to it because it was all natural. It was put together in the US, right? Obviously, they've got to get spices from these very special places. Not spices, but you know, these special herbs. They got to get them from special places around the world, but it's all done here. It's packaged, put together, and blended accordingly right here in the USA. All right. And I tried it, and it was delicious. Look at this. I'm old school. I fill a jug. You see this big jug right here? And for those listening over there on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and everything like that, I'm holding this big gallon jug that used to be full of water. See those tea bags floating in the bottom there? This was full, guys. But I've been drinking it every day, twice a day, 8 ounces. Take a listen. Pour it in the glass. Oh yeah, that's not a sound effect. That's real. Look at this. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. And mabuhay to all my Filipino friends out there. I have the mint flavor. It's actually really good. I really like it. It's yummy. Look, this stuff's good. I can take that right now. I'm going to do 2 hours of podcast recording after this. It's not like me drinking that's going to send me running to the back. It's gentle. It's good stuff, all right? So it's got all these herbs. They cleanse you out. They make you regular again. They clean the toxins out of your system. They help you clean the extra waste that's been stored up in the colon, the stuff that's not healthy for you, not good for you. It keeps the bloat down. I don't feel so swollen. You know how you feel like swollen sometimes? Your fingers are... Yeah, you don't feel like that. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So it's good stuff, guys. Listen, you have to go to getthetea.com, GETTHETEA.com, www.getthetea.com, www.getthetea.com. Promo code James, folks. Promo code James. That'll get you free shipping and handling. It's not expensive. It's good stuff, all right? It helps maintain your health. It cleanses your body from all kinds of toxins, all kinds of things that can cause colds and flus and different things like that. It keeps the bugs out real good. It helps your digestion, all right? Just like I've been saying, my bloats, I feel so much better, guys. I feel so much better. And just in this journey that I'm taking to get back in shape, I really feel like it's helping me immensely. It really is. I really think so. So try it out, guys. Life Change Tea. You just saw me drink a bunch of it. You just saw my almost empty jug. That's, by the way, like the 3rd jug. All right. That's not the first jug. Not the first jug at all. Trust me. It's good stuff, guys. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to thank me. All right. www.getthetea.com. www.getthetea.com.